Today's grid, go to crossovergrid.com/PFT. The categories across the top, the vertical columns, Detroit Lions, Las Vegas Raiders, and played on HBO's Hard Knocks. Didn't have to be on the team that is in the grid to qualify. Just ever been on a team that was on Hard Knocks. Down the horizontal lines, Seattle and New England, who have never been Hard Knocks teams, so it would have to be somebody who played on a Hard Knocks team and ended up with the Seahawks or the Patriots. And then the final category, top 10 pick in the NFL Draft. Those are the categories. We have 9 squares. Chris, I've got most of them. They came to me, boom. This was easier for me than usual, although they may not be low percentage. Yeah. 8 of them came to me. The one I'm struggling with is upper right. Somebody who's been on the Seahawks who also was on Hard Knocks. But what do you have?
Well,
give me one.
Well, yes, I'm not as prepared with this. Like, I just started looking at this a few minutes ago. But I got some here. I mean, right off the Lions-Seahawks one, I go right to a Texas alumni and Quandre Diggs, right? That's yes. Who I thought of. Did you have anybody else there?
That was the guy I thought of, and it's going to be a high percentage, I would assume, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time trying to think of some obscure guy from the past who played for both the Seahawks and the Lions. Nobody else immediately came to mind. There's usually a backup quarterback rocketing around in my head. Let's go Quandre Diggs, 24. We'll take that. I'm going to skip down. I want to have some fun here. I'm going down to the lower right-hand corner, the intersection of top 10 draft and Hard Knocks, because we mentioned him earlier in the show. He was eating a hot dog on the sidelines of a preseason game. Mark Sanchez, who later brought us the butt fumble, was the Jets quarterback and a top 10 pick in 2009, 1 year before the Jets were on Hard Knocks. Mark Sanchez, final answer.
Yeah,
that's the percentages. It could be high, it could be low. We'll see. 7. I'll take 7.1.
I'm shocked.
I'll take it.
Wow, that to me would have been one that would have been fairly obvious. I'm surprised by that. So good one there, Mike. Way to go. I did go. I think about that Lions Patriots box there. Lions Patriots again.
Easy one.
Well,
easy one.
He just re-signed
with the
right?
Patriots.
Trey Flowers was the guy I thought of right away. There's probably some more, right, because of the Patricia, where we could do like Duron Harmon maybe could have been a guy, right? There could have been some other guys we could have gone to, but Trey Flowers was the easiest one to come up with there.
Yeah, and we just want to get these 9 filled out. We're not going to sit and come up with the lowest possible percentages. I'm going to finish out this one because the Lions have had plenty of top 10 draft picks over the years. The one guy that I thought of when they were going through receiver, remember that? The first guy, and he's no longer with us, Charles Rogers,
sure.
3rd overall pick in 2003, I believe.
Yeah, it was
Charles
my draft
Rogers,
class.
I have a feeling that'll be
right.
a low percentage. They had Roy Williams, they had Mike Williams, but I think Charles Rogers, that's low enough. I'll take that one.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, you're right. It was Charles
7%.
Rogers. Charles Rogers, that whole year, I had people telling me to tell Roy Williams that the Detroit Lions will take him at pick number 2 or 3 if he would just come out in the draft. I think it was pick 2. And Roy decided to stay because Roy had aspirations of, national championship and wanted to win a Heisman at the receiver position, and he didn't. But there's my little backstory there.
Hey, Simms is no longer the quarterback. We got a shot at the national championship.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Now we can do it. I think of that Patriots-Raiders column there. The easiest one and the one that popped in my brain right away was Richard Seymour, right?
Yes.
Do it. I don't
Richard
know if
Seymour.
there's anybody else, but that's the one I thought of.
Remember when they traded him to the Raiders and he took like a week to show up? Like, I'm not going to the Raiders. You're trading me from the platinum standard team to the team that is like quickly fallen to among the worst. What's the percentage there? I can't see.
It's 14%. 14%.
14%. That's good. I thought it would be higher than that. I'll go up one, and I know this one's going to be high, but we just got to get through this. Raiders, Seahawks. Come on. Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. Remember, he had that 1 year with the Raiders where he went back home to Oakland. I couldn't think of any other.
It's the only one I could think of. Yeah, right.
Well, and this is one of those where I thought Brian Bosworth, not because he ever played for the Raiders, but he got blown up by Bo Jackson when he was with the Raiders, so he's always linked to the Raiders in my mind. So there's Marshawn Lynch at, I'm sure, double-digit percentage, but again, I can't see what the percentage is. The numbers are too small.
Let me figure this out one more time. The Seahawks played on HBO Hard Knocks thing. He doesn't need to be on the Seahawks right now, right?
No, he couldn't have been. They weren't on Hard Knocks. It's somebody who played on a team that was on Hard Knocks the year he was on that team, and then at some point in his career, he was also on the Seahawks.
Damn, that's really tough. And I don't know if
I have one.
Go ahead. Who is it?
I have one.
Who?
Oh, Matt Casey is telling us someone from last night. I don't know I don't know what that's doing. Is it? I don't know. We got to move it along. Let's say Carlos Hyde. And I'll admit that I saw a reader who posted their grid, and Carlos Hyde is an answer here. So I couldn't think of anybody else. All right, who else you got, Chris?
That's Raiders top 10 pick is an easy one, right? I mean, that's of course I think of Jamarcus Russell right off the bat.
Well, how about Robert Gallery? I bet Robert Gallery.
Okay, that's a lower one. I like Robert Gallery better.
Another bust. Another Raiders bust of that decade, although it may not have been his fault. It may have just been the Raiders.
9.4.
Last one, and now, this one's easy because, number one, he's very active on social media. Number two, I've come to really like him after he's retired, and he was a key part of the Dolphins' Hard Knock season of 2012. And before that, he had kind of a wasted year with the New England Patriots, and that would be Chad Johnson, the receiver, who will be entering the Bengals' Ring of Honor this year.
I thought about Chris Hogan.
That
was the other one I thought about. Remember Chris Hogan?
Oh, always open. Chris Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. It's already put in there. Well, we did all right. We did okay.
103 is our worst we've done yet. To be ranked 103, that was the worst we've done so far. So we took a lot of low-hanging fruit today.
That's because you weren't ready for it. You were watching Hard Knocks instead of getting ready for the grid.
You're right.
Live
That's true.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.